I've never had it off before, which would amuse most people, but yeah. Is that why my car refused to start? Yeah, that's obviously the filler neck for the fuel tank. And you don't want static sparks, particularly in there. And obviously, I'm glad I went to work the day. I had to fill the underground petrol tank at the depot because the truck came in with the petrol and he tried to connect the truck tank to the petrol underground petrol tank. He said, "It's no good, that, mate. The threads have gone on your petrol tank, the underground one. There's thousands of gallons in." And he said, "Yeah, the tanker is earthed to the ground, not through the tyres, through the well, it wasn't a tube, it was a hose, like a 2-inch hose that screwed onto the tanker and then onto the tank, and the threads on the fuel tank were done. So the tanker wasn't earthed, and it's similar to having a static spark between that, the fuel filler neck on the petrol tank, and the fuel pump at the petrol station that goes in there, obviously. Yeah, I mean, this takes the static from there, well, it shouldn't come from the petrol pump. That should be earthed to the ground. That goes through that wire, round here, and through that. You put a bolt through there to hold this onto the car, and that earths the whole car to the ground. Not as in, because you on a car you usually have one wire, and the rest of the wires are the earth or the vehicle body, so to save copper or metal. But in this case, it's to earth the vehicle itself to the earth or the ground. But obviously, you'd hope that if that snapped like it has, it must have been making and breaking the connection, which is why the fuel pump has been working and not working. And I've taken the engine out for no reason. I just got sick and I took the 90k at least 1,000 miles engine out and just got sick of it because I was fed up with it. And I think that's maybe what's been doing it. But I've never taken this off before, off a modern car before, particularly this one. And I just took it off. Well, obviously, you just there's a rubber pipe goes over that, and all that goes into the tank, and that's the rubber. Well, there's a rubber hose goes over there, and you clip it on, and the rubber hose goes into the tank. But yeah, it's a composite tank. It isn't a metal one, because I'm used to Austin Minis, and they had a steel petrol tank, which earthed the car to the ground through the filler neck on that, which was part of the tank and metal. The whole thing was metal. There's only a rubber surround around here. Well, just to stop noise and vibration, but it was all bolted so rigidly to the car, and so it would earth itself to the car. But that part would have to be earthed to the fuel station pump, but it was all one piece, so it would be earthed straight away. But this obviously, that's a plastic pipe to the tank, and the tank's plastic as well, so it has to have a wire on, anti-static wire on, to earth the vehicle to the ground. Normally, the whole thing was earthed straight through the petrol tank. But I've never worked on cars with composite plastic tanks and plastic piping. It's too modern for me, is this? And yeah, it is a bit more complicated than an Austin Mini. Yeah, I could get one of them to do 80 miles an hour in second gear. Well, they're dead simple. They're only single side cam and not twin overhead camshaft and all that nonsense, and didn't have electronic control units, and I didn't have them in the 60s. The first car I worked on the only other car I've really worked on with an electronic engine management system was the Cosworth Sierra, because it was turbocharged and needed fuel injection. But what did they do before electric and electronic fuel injection? Well, I know they had it on diesels because I learned about that at college, and that just uses fuel pressure in the injector to overcome the pressure in the cylinders, and it's injected directly into the engine. So if you stall one on a hill, it will reverse and start up in a forward gear. It'll roll backwards and start up. The engine will start backwards and reverse the vehicle down the hill even if you're in a forward gear. I know that because they had to fit a special rear axle to the early tractors because they were doing that and going into streams and filling the engine with water which you can't compress, and it wrecked all the parts inside the engine. But you put like a screw thread to drive a gear, because obviously the screw thread can drive the gear, but the gear can't drive the screw thread. But the moment you lift off, press the clutch, the rear wheels lock. His dad told me that because he remembered driving a tractor and through snowdrift, 6 feet deep. He was approaching the only car in his well, there were two cars in his village, owned by the mill owner, the factory owner, and he nearly hit it with a tractor. And it was I don't know which one it was. He said there was a Singer and a Daimler, and they were the only two cars in the village. And it was one of them he nearly hit with this tractor because the wheels locked when he pressed the clutch. He said he was sliding about. The cut literally used to when he was young. They used to get prisoners to dig through that. Yeah, they didn't give them free Nintendo and that. They would give them proper jobs like breaking rocks up and digging through snowdrifts. Something useful to do. And yeah, nearly hit the boss's Singer or demo. My dad didn't work at the linen mill, and I think it possibly was still open by the time he started work. But my uncle was joking about Fred Dibnah nearly buying the factory chimney because it was a good one. I thought surely he wasn't going to put that up in his back garden. That's what my uncle said.